offense. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. This is the rookie from USC, Ronald Jones, his first NFL carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake, Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Winston. Dancing to his left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. We focus our attention here on the Saints offense as they come out. And last year, they were coming into 2017 with 3 straight 7-9 seasons. Well, they got it turned around. Won the NFC South at 11-5, won a wild card game, and then we all know the story. Heartbreak in Minneapolis.
But it's one that won't break this team, I don't believe. I think it's actually something that they can use as fodder for the season, as something to build upon. And when you think of New Orleans, you naturally think of offense. You think of Drew Brees. You think of Alvin Kamara last year as a rookie, making the big plays. Mark Ingram running the football, throwing it to Mike Thomas out wide. But the key to this team continuing to get better remains on defense. And I think it was shown in the draft when they made the big move and drafted Marcus Davenport out of UTSA to rush the passer. They know they've got to win their division, which means slowing down some high-powered offenses in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
2nd down, Bridgewater. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And got his man complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 57 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing, Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, a cool moment for him. His first touchdown pass since the final week of the 2016 season. As they are now on the board here in the first half. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Well, these Buccaneers coming off a 4-game drop-off from a year ago, 9-7 in Dirk Cutter's first season to 5-11 last year. It's now 10 straight seasons without a playoff appearance. And, in fact, they have not won a playoff game, Charles, since winning Super Bowl 37.
And in order for them to get back to the playoffs, they've got to go through their division, which is awfully tough and high-powered on offense. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. So the Buccaneers made the investment. Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. Also picked up Bo Allen and Vinny Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles. So the defensive front taken care of. They also picked up Vita Vea, a massive defensive tackle from Washington in the first round of the draft. Then they picked up a couple of corners. They know that on the defensive side of the ball, that's where they have to make their biggest gain to chase down their division rivals.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Demario Davis coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. From the gun, Winston. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
This is Jones. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
You got him. You got him. Ready.
Now Jameis on second down. Evans has it left side. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Now Jones. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a second down throw for Winston. Escaping the pressure. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard from 10 yards out. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Now the point after try for Santos. Santos with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Let's go. You're taking play.
Second down, Winston. Being chased out left. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, if we've heard it once, we've heard it 1,000 times. Don't throw late down the middle.
And he did. We see the end result.
Yeah, what you have to do is you got to make sure you manipulate those defenders with your eyes and your head, maybe even some body movement to move them a little if you're going to come back late down the middle.
He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And Cook has it left side. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dayon Buchanan coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Bridgewater now on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dayon Buchanan. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Again, this is Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the half here, Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm like, what? All right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. From the gun, Bridgewater. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Play action now. Winston buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. Oh, he stays out. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bryant. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a pitch out to Kamara, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Going deep here for Bryant. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Following the interception, Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Winston to throw for it on fourth. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. This is caught inside the 15. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And his throw here is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Third and goal, Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. A beautiful fake. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. On play action, Winston. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Again, it's Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here's Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Ready.
Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Pushing, and Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans, 52 yards. And the Bucks are going to take the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, look at that. And now running right through it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll look to throw. Now in desperation. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. Back to throw. He'll buy some, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. He'll look to throw. Now he's forced out right. He's got it. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Bridgewater with a keeper, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Teddy Bridgewater with 6 seconds remaining, and the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now the first throw in overtime for Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
To throw is Winston. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.